Maria Garcia de Fleury. Throughout the history of Christianity, there have been people who have suffered in their body the same sufferings experienced by the Son of God. They are stigmatized, to say the stigmata or wounds of the crucifixion on the hands, feet, side, and head. The stigma is a trace supernaturally imprinted on the body of some saints as a symbol of the participation of their souls in the Passion of Christ. There are more than 300 registered cases of stigmatization. The first documented case is that of Saint Francis of Assisi, deacon and founder of the Franciscan order, great friend of animals, initiator of the tradition of Christmas nativity scenes, and author of beautiful poems such as the Hymn to the Sun and the Prayer for All. The stigmas appeared at the age of 42 while on a spiritual retreat on September 14, 1224, the day of the Holy Cross. St. Francis of Assisi carried the stigmata for the rest of his life, and he died in October 1226. St. Catherine of Siena, a 14th century of the Third Order of Dominicans, in 1375, at the age of 28, experienced a particular type of stigma. Catherine carried the invisible stigmata with all their pains until her death in 1380 at the age of 33. Saint Rita of Cassia, after the death of her husband and children, entered the Augustinian order. In 1428, at the age of 36, meditating in front of a crucifix, she felt a light coming out of the image, reaching her forehead, like a very painful thorn that had just been nailed down. This stigma accompanied her until her death in 1457. Blessed Anna Katharina Emmerich of the Third Order of the Augustinian German. In 1813, an illness immobilized her in her bed. At that time, she began to suffer the stigmata and ate only a daily consecrated host. She had mystical trances where she traveled in time and lived moments in the lives of Christ and the Virgin Mary. She died in 1824 at the age of 50. Saint Father Pio of Pietrelcina, the most famous and studied stigmatized of all time. As a Capuchin monk, he lived from 1914 until his death in the town of San Giovanni Rotondo. He celebrated his Mass without gloves, and his stigmata could be observed. He heard up to 18 hours a day of confession and had the gift of reading hearts and manifesting in more than 2 places at the same time. The stigmata disappeared from his body 3 days before his death on September 23, 1968, at the age of 81 in St. Giovanni Rotondo. Teresa Neumann, German, in 1926, at the age of 37, the stigmata appeared on her hands, feet, and side, and head. She also shed abundant tears of blood. This happened every Friday. Since then, the only thing she ate was water and a daily consecrated host. She was able to express herself in languages she did not know, such as Aramaic, Greek, or Hebrew. She died on September 18, 1962, at the age of 64. Friends, all these persons with stigmas accepted to live the pains and sufferings of Christ because they knew that with God we always win.